Hello everyone, it's Lennon. Okay, so I got up this morning really wanting to do a spread in the Voyager Tarot's guidebook. Okay, this medium white book. um, I've been working with this deck lately, and it's been really impactful. It's a deck that is, I think it is a deck for intuition. I think that's one of the main reasons it was made, is for you to unlock certain things. And it's a collage deck, right? And I know I'm jumping right in, but just bear with. So it's a collage deck, which means there's pictures on top of pictures on top of pictures, okay? Which I didn't think I would like, but I do. So I've been working with it, and I got up this morning wanting to do, like, as a study, okay? Wanting to do one of the spreads in the back of this guidebook, okay? And I was reading the little blurb, because there's like a little blurb on the spread. And this particular spread is the whole self mandala spread, and it's a 10 card spread. First of all, okay? Now my go-to spread, if I use one at all, is a 3 card. There ain't no arguing with that, okay? Any more cards than 3 and I feel kind of like overwhelmed a little. Especially if it's something like an area in my life that I don't need a whole bunch of hoopla. It's just tell me what I need to know and let me process the rest. Let me digest the rest. But I have my own, I guess I have my own system with spreads, like how I do it, right? I have my own kind of technique. And usually I shuffle like one big time, right, at the beginning. It's like a superstition. And then I just lay down 3 cards back to back to back. Right? So that's my go-to technique, I'll say, with spreads. But for this specific spread, there's 10 positions, and James Wanless wants you to shuffle before each position. So he wants you to do one big shuffle, just to make sure nothing's wonky in there, and then shuffle and concentrate on the first position, which is the mental state, right? What's my mind doing today? Stuff like that. Plop that down. Then without that card in the deck, shuffle again while concentrating on position number 2. Right? And I thought, I was like, man, this is a lot like work. Like 10, 11 shuffles if you're counting the one that you do at the beginning. And I thought, holy crap. But it was the way in which he explained how to do it. Like, because this is an intuition deck, I felt pulled to do it exactly the way that he instructs. And when I did it, it was so profound. But then it got me thinking. I was like, oh my gosh, is this placebo? Did I think this worked because of the work I put in? Or is it because it was just that I didn't cheat on the test? Right? Because when I do card, one after the other, without shuffling, without even thinking about the positions themselves, I have this like a theme that I'm thinking about when I do those specific spreads, right? But in positions or in spreads that have positions that really warrant you to think about them more than you were gonna, what do? That's why I came up with this tag. I mean, it's taken me a while, but I've come up with my first tag, and I want as many people that wants to participate to do it and answer this question. When do you shuffle in terms of spreads? Is it different for every spread? Like, so I guess you could go off your intuition and go, okay, well, I'll do it how they instruct. And then if that doesn't feel right, I'll change it and do it, my usual way. Or is it like, I guess there's kind of like 2 things here. For me, you could do it, like I said, like do one big shuffle and then one card after the other. And then when the cards are over, then you think about the positions themselves while having the card to bounce back and forth with, right? You could do it that way. Or you could do it the James Wanless way, or others is, I don't know, but this is the one I'm, talking about today. And do it like where you're shuffling, thinking about that position's theme instead of the overarching theme. So like this whole self mandala is about the whole me, right? But position 1 is on the mental state. So as I'm shuffling that second time, I'm really concentrating on what my mental state is and what it is doing in this moment. And it's almost like I'm allowing my intuition to build up to be on the same page with the card, whatever it may choose, whatever it's going to be. And I'm probably specifically talking about more than 3 cards here, okay? More than 3 cards are in a spread, and each position seems like it has something juicy happening, right? Like there's a lot of stuff happening in my mental state. And then position 2 is, where's number 2? This is really a mandala. Emotional state. There's a lot of stuff happening in my emotional state, right? And I think the reason that I thought it was so impactful was, 1, I was doing it how I was instructed. So it was kind of like a teacher-student dynamic happening. And then 2, I really thought that by shuffling before turning the card over, or like, plucking the card out, it really gave my own mind time, my whole self to kind of match up to whatever it was I would pull. So it's like I put the work in. But had I done it my way and just plop, 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 10 cards down right off the rip, would I have thought that I put the work in? And would it have been like cheating on a test? Like, here's the answers, now what do you have to say? So I don't know. I will say this. I don't think that there is a right answer. I don't think that you get wrong cards. I think that whether or not I did it the Wanless way or my way, or my, I'll say my go-to way, whether or not I did it, either way, it's not so much that had I done it my way, I'm going to pluck out this way wrong card. I don't think that's a thing. I think, in my opinion, I think that every single card in a tarot deck can be related to whatever it is you're asking it. So I do think that there's power in the question. I think that there's power in like the way you word things. It needs to be worded to where your brain can process it. Okay, and everyone's different. But again, let me be clear. I don't think that any technique that you have is wrong or right. I guess I'm just a curious, crude person because I named this Shuffle and Spread 'em. A lot of people, when talking about spreads or when they would come up with a spread, they don't really tell you when to shuffle. Now, I'm guessing a lot of that is they're assuming you already have a technique or you have one that, you already have a way of doing it, which is fine. But nobody actually says, well, this is how I do it. Like you do everything else. Everyone already says, well, this is how I do it. No one actually says when they shuffle in terms of spreads. Intense spreads. Now, there have been a couple of spreads that I have liked over the years that I've written down. Maybe they're a 5 card, 6 card, 10 card spread or whatever. It's rare that I want to do a spread at all. However, like I said, there have been some over the years that have really pulled me in. That the questions, or like these aren't even questions. They're just words on your, the different aspects of yourself. Whether it's a question or just a thing or state of being that the position is. There have been a lot of good ones over the years that I have done. And I never even thought to do it this way. To shuffle after. I think that in the beginning it made me kind of feel awkward to shuffle after every single time I would pluck out a card and then I would shuffle again. So I don't know. I think I felt awkward, but here we are. I'm posing the question. to you guys. If you have generally more than a 3-card spread that you feel drawn to, like say you saw it on Instagram or something, or a famous tarot reader has come up with a really cool spread that looks intense, when do you shuffle? You just do one, and then you cheat on the quiz, you just see the cards, and then you kind of think about the questions after? Or do you really, do you shuffle and think about each position separately? Like you're studying, like you're allowing your mind to fill up all the blanks. And then when the card comes up, it makes more sense, even though, like I said before, I don't think it works that way. I don't think you're going to get a wrong card from cheating. And I'm just using those analogies to put forth one. I don't really mean that you're cheating. So I'm mainly curious. And I think what prompted this, me asking the community, is it felt like it worked. Now, I will say, as a pseudoscientist, right, like a researcher, I haven't done my way of this whole self mandala to see if it would be just as profound as like a control, right? I haven't done that yet, but I'm planning on it. I'm planning on doing it as a control to see if both of them give me some really juicy things to ponder. Either way, doesn't matter. But because I'm a curious little bee, a curious, crude little bee, I want you to shuffle and spread them for linen. Let me know when you shuffle and when you spread them. In terms of spreads. And they don't have to be intense, I guess. They could just be, even if it was 3 cards, but each position was like something you really want to dive into. I don't know. I just kept feeling afterwards, I was like, does this feel this good because I put so much work in, all those shuffles in? Is this half placebo? But I guess let me know your thoughts. Do you have a technique and you don't really veer from it? Or are you willing to kind of do what the guidebook tells you to do? You don't really care. It doesn't really matter to you. Whatever card comes up is what cards comes up, and you're just going to process whatever the hell comes up. So I guess I'm going to keep playing with this deck and experimenting. And I think it's okay for you to change your technique. If you find something works in your practice, in your tarot practice, it's okay to zhuzh it around. I think that's true too. I think more so it's all about like muscle memory, habit, and stuff like that. You know, like I'm probably more prone to get a deck out and do my way instead of this way without thinking about it. I'll just like do my own thing, you know. But if I really sat down and focused, I might be able to just do it how, you know, a different way. I don't know. I'm rambling at this point. I mean, this was not supposed to be a long video. I just wanted to pose the questions. This shuffle and spread them question to you guys. So I have come up with that hashtag. So whoever wants to use it can use it. And if you don't feel like doing like a VR, you can just let me know in the comments. You know? All right. I'll be back. Much love.